It's been a full year and 121 engine hours since the Maggie Anne II first splashdown, and the service protocol specifies that at 12 months we change fuel filters. So it's not necessary to haul the boat out for this work, but in the next few months, on our trip to Alaska, we'll put another 200 hours on the engines. So we decided just to do a full service now so we wouldn't have to do that en route. Here's the service protocol for the Volvo Penta IPS 450s. Fuel filter and fuel pre-filter due now, annually. Engine oil and filters every 200 hours, so those would be due during the trip. And then, although the transmission oil at 400 hours and 24 months, we're still a long way away from having to do that while it was hanging from the chocks, hanging from the gantry. We decided to do it anyway. We've started the lift, and now the staff are checking the sling placement and weight distribution for our 35,000-pound R43.
Out of the way! About 14,000 pounds heavier than third. Okay, you can come back. Can I? Yeah. How far? 3 feet? Okay.
As you heard the operator say in the previous video, when the sling was at the aft sling mark, the lift operator indicated the stern was 14,000 pounds heavier. So we moved the sling location rearward about 2 feet, which ended up balancing the load. While the boat was out of the water, we took this opportunity to check and change the anodes, all of which, with the exception of the ACP backup sink, exhibited 40 to 50% corrosion over the previous 6 months, which is when we changed them last. The boat has been hooked up to shore power all of that time, but now that we're in the warmer months, I've disconnected shore power and just rely on the solar panel to provide the battery top-up. On our other boat, that seemed to really extend the life of the zincs, so we'll see if the anodes last longer on this boat as well as that result. The boat has been pressure washed, the zincs have been changed, and now we're preparing to change the transmission oil. Although that can be done using the U-Lube system, apparently it's slightly preferable to drain the oil from the bottom, which is what we did. The drain plug for the transmission is located in the exhaust port. This video clip shows the mechanic removing the drain plug from the starboard exhaust port and letting the transmission oil drain into the bucket there. This is the gear oil that we use for the transmission. The 75-90 weight oil is supposed to be a little bit more consistent viscosity across a wider temperature range in comparison to the 80-90 weight oil. So the 75-90 is a little bit thicker when exposed to high heat, and it's a little bit thinner under colder conditions. The housing for the transmission oil filter is mounted on the engine block, slightly above the transmission gearbox itself. There are 2 fuel filters that need to be changed annually or at 200 hours. A primary fuel filter, which is the one that's shown here with the silver T-top, and it has a replaceable filter cartridge that needs to be taken out and replaced. The procedure to change the fuel filters are nicely described in the As the Prop Turns Spring Maintenance webinar that Ranger Tug has put out. So I'll refer people to that video for a full description of the process. Here's what the old filter looks like. The replacement filter cartridge and the part number for that is shown on the right there. This is the secondary fuel filter, and it has also a water and the fuel sensor connected to this one. Again, the Ranger webinar has a really nice description on changing this filter. And here's the new secondary fuel filter installed. It's the usual white filter canister as opposed to the original green painted version. Before removing the oil from the engines, we replace the filters. There are 2 spin-off oil filters per engine with different oil sizes and different part numbers. We did use the U-Lube transfer pump to change the engine oil. It's very simple to operate. Turn on the valve to the system you want to drain. Have the outlet holes in a large bucket. We added a little bit over 5 1/4 gallons per engine. The last step in the process is to replace the air filter, which is located in the black box with the silver metal catches on the side of the engine. You can see the old one does look a bit dirty. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. I should mention that for the haul out we used the Seaview North Boatyard, and for the actual mechanical service work, Northwest Diesel Power. Both of those companies are based in Bellingham.